Morning, Mystic community. Thank you for joining us today. I'd like you to find a comfortable place together. Wherever you are, we're still together, so just know that even though we can't see each other, we can sense each other's presence. Let your body come into a comfortable place and begin to notice its contact to the ground. Begin to experience the feel of weight of the body as it hands itself down to the ground. Inviting attention to the felt experience of sensation in the body. All of the tingling sensations throughout your arms and legs. And inviting attention to the feel of breath. Notice if your body is constricted anywhere, especially around the belly or the heart space. Notice that constriction itself and begin to create space around it by softening and kind of opening. And one of the things I love most about being out here is the felt experience of silence. There's such silence out here. The kind of silence that one experiences like sometimes at nighttime, like when everybody's asleep, or super early in the morning when no one is woken up. This field is full of silence. Just take a moment to feel that, to experience the silence, the sacredness of the silence. Take a deep in breath together and let it go. One more time. And slowly begin to move your body, expanding it, extending it, elongating it. And if you haven't made it to your seated position yet, just take your time to roll over onto your side and make your way to your seated. One of the things I love most about yoga is what it has taught me about delight in the movement in the body and delight in the experience of the body itself. So this kind of tuning inwards and noticing what needs to happen in terms of motions. Maybe you start rolling the shoulders up and down and around as you arrive. Maybe it's one shoulder at a time. And then you kind of look side to side. Expand your arms sideways, make fists with your hands and circle your wrists around. Open up through the palms, let those fingertips come down. Feel your own palms nice and wide open. You've got some beautiful rain here, this drizzling rain. Maybe even look up and let it kind of fall onto your face. Communing with the elements. Starting to circle the wrists around. Reach arms overhead, deep in breath. Interlace the hands and expand them upwards. Feel the elongation in the side body. And start to take some side to side motions. And release. Interlace the hands behind the back and kind of reach those arms back and up slightly. Maybe kind of loosening up around the neck. And then reach those arms forward. Interlace them and draw the palms forward with a little bit of a curl, allowing that right shoulder to drop down slightly, and then allowing the left shoulder to drop down. Reaching up again, in breath. And then on the out, release. Let's make our way together to a table pose. And start to arch and curl the spine. Arching and curling, exploring the sensations around the spine, and then taking some freedom to vary these motions a little bit. Some rocking side to side can feel lovely. Or you might even experience some rotational motions around the hips by separating your knees a little wider and dropping the elbows or walking the hands more forward. All the while we are being literally bathed by the sound of silence, and it's always in the background, in between each sound, in between the words. Place your left hand on the ground. Extend your right arm forward and let the thumb face up, making a kickstand with that left hand to kind of press into it and twist a little bit over to the left. And then to the other side. And as you return back to the center, make your way now into some twisting motions. As you separate the knees a little wider, expand the arm, right arm open. feel the in-breath as you feel that stretch upwards, and with the out-breath, thread the arm through. And do that 3 more times, inhaling and exhaling. Last time, in breath. And out, release. Take your left hand all the way up with the in-breath. And on the out-breath, thread through. So we're just doing the same thing on the other side. And if you like to hold a little longer, do so, it's okay. Let's do 2 more times. Slowly coming out of this pose, allowing the hips to draw back a little, and taking some time to kind of rock the tailbone side to side, maybe lowering the elbows first to see if this is where your child pose wants to be, or dropping the chest all the way down to the ground. Again, communing with the elements now, bowing to this earth, thanking it for supporting us in this way. Opening up to the water element as we feel the rain on our skin. And slowly return back to a table pose. And curl your toes under to extend your hips up and back into a downward dog. And readjust the placement of your feet depending on where you're feeling most tight. You might walk the feet a little more forward or more back. Pedaling through the legs, shaking the head no and yes. And now explore the length of the right leg as you elongate it all the way up. Bend and extend it a few times. Release it and do the same thing on the other side. Release, walk the feet forward to a forward fold. And as you find your forward fold, make it so that your forward fold is very gentle on your body. That might mean you allow the elbows to rest on top of the thighs. And we'll slowly rise up. As we rise up, sometimes you might like to place your hands on your thighs. As you activate the feet into the ground, there's some support for the lower back here. Allow your body to kind of expand open again. That same motion. And again, look up, allowing that sensation of little droplets of water on your skin to be felt. Like when we were children, you can open your mouth even. Taste the rain. And then find a little bit of a back bend here. Press your hips forward and squeeze those shoulder blades towards one another. Lift your heart to the sky. Take that fresh in-breath and out-breath. And as you reach the arms overhead, take a breath in. On the breath out, bow, hinge from the hips, forward fold. Half lift with the in-breath. The out-breath takes you back to plank pose. As you arrive, stabilize your shoulders on top of your wrists. Really press the floor away. And imagine that you're opening a jar of olives energetically without fully kind of, twisting it. And you'll draw those inner elbows to the midline. Feel your strong core connection, your strong legs, your glutes, and your quads engaging. Elongate through the cervical spine just a little bit more. And then release your knees down and let yourself make your way down into a halfway as the elbows draw further inwards and back up. And then do that again. Down and up. Down and up. Nice and slow. Feel the arms even kind of shake a little bit. That's how slow you're going down and up. Let's do 3 more of those. Good job. Now, lower all the way to the ground and elongate your legs all the way back. And once you find that openness, bring the elbows under the shoulders and see if that Sphinx pose can prepare you for Cobra. I like to do that sometimes. Feel that a little bit more length throughout the legs. You might even separate the legs a little wider just to gain more space. And then readjust them. And from here, open your heart. Lower your lowermost ribs. And then draw your arms open into goalpost. Notice if you're really tightening up around your shoulders. And lengthen your neck and draw the shoulders back. Then take the activity into the upper back and squeeze those muscles in the upper back. Take a deep in-breath. On the out-breath, release down. Plant your hands alongside your chest and extend your hips up and back into downward dog. Begin to explore sensation around the shoulders and the neck. And if you're finding that you're placing lots of weight on your shoulders, see if you can kind of roll them down and elongate the space or widen the space between your shoulder blades. Take a breath in and sigh it out. With the in-breath, bend your knees, draw your hips back, look forward. With the out-breath, walk or float forward, coming into a forward fold. Notice the activity now in your feet. Your feet are super grounded and active so that you can lift and separate the toes, ground down through the ball of the big toe and the little toe, and keep the base of the heel really strong as you drape the toes down. We'll rise up together. In breath, 2 arms reach overhead. Find that opening in the heart again. Press the hips forward. Roll the shoulders down the back and squeeze your shoulder blades muscles. Come back through neutral, palms to heart space as you bow forward, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant palms and step back, plank pose. Hold for a while, squeeze your glutes and your quads. Tuck tailbone under and pull the navel in and up. Feel a long line of energy from your heels, through your knees, through your hips to your shoulders. Then lower the knees down and take another few push-ups, allowing those elbows to draw back and inwards. For 5, 4, nice and slow. 3, 2, and 1. Gain your Sphinx pose. Elongate your legs back. Feel the length of the lowermost belly all the way up. Then release the lowermost ribs. Expand your arms sideways this time. Circle through the wrists. Now keep those arms wide open as you keep your gaze down. And then slowly expand the arms forward and open them up again. We'll do that 3 more times. Forward and back out again. 2 more. And last one. Place the hands under the shoulders. Press yourself through to downward dog. And again, finding that delight of this opposite motion. Doing yoga is so pleasurable. It takes a while to get to the pleasure point because at first it's hard until you really kind of find that proprioception and also the awareness of your core. After a while, it becomes delightful. Take your right leg and raise it to the sky with the in-breath. This time, bend the knee to dial the hip open. Keep active in your right hand more though. So now your shoulders are still facing down and there's activity and equal weight in both shoulders. Square your hips again with the in-breath. With the out-breath, take your right knee to your right elbow. Elongate it back again. Take it towards the right elbow and step the foot towards the outside of the right hand. It's not exactly at the right hand, it's behind it, really. And the toes are facing outwards, kind of like you are in a lizard. Take a few motions side to side, kind of elongating the leg and bringing it down. Keep your left hand on the ground and open up into a twist to the right. Now, as you thread it through, you're not going to thread all the way down. You're just going to kind of go up and down a few times, in and out. 3 more. 2. Last one. Place the right hand back down and walk the back foot to the outside of the left hand and go up and down a few times. Maybe you tent your fingers onto the ground. Maybe you hold that squat pose for a moment or 2. Maybe you have to toe heel those heels towards one another to find the squat. 1 more in-breath. On the out-breath, press yourself upwards. Place your hands onto your hips. Rock side to side. And circle your hips around. Then toe heel, the feet towards one another. And open yourself back up again to the heavens. Deepen breath. On the out breath, bow, forward fold. In a halfway lift. Out plant palms and step back, plank pose. Solidify the plank with the in-breath. With the out-breath, either release the knees or not to come down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, this time baby cobra again, or find that upward facing dog. Back to your downward facing dog. Deep inhale. And let it go. Left leg slowly rises up. Knee bends, the hip dials open. Weight is in the left hand. Shoulders are equal. You're not collapsing into that right shoulder. Square your hips again. Elongate the leg. In breath. Out breath. Knee to left elbow. Lengthen back. In. Out. Knee towards the left elbow. Step foot to the outside. And take a twist to the left. Take it in. On the out, thread it slightly through. And again 3 times. And out. 2 more. Last one. Place the hand down. Walk the back foot out to the side and go up and down. Adjust the placement of the feet. They might need to come in closer towards one another. Holding your squat if that feels good to you. I need to walk my heels towards one another a little more. And breathe in and out. Take an in-breath as you slowly rise all the way up. Hands come to the hips. And some circular motions or rocking side to side. Loosening up and releasing around the kidneys and into the energy centers, your first 3 energy centers where we hold a lot of tensions in the solar plexus and the hips. Awesome. Keep the feet nicely separated so that they're not too wide but not too close to one another. And let's take some squats together. So we'll allow the arms to reach forward as you drop your hips back and down. Relax your shoulders. And slowly rise, drawing the elbows back. In breath. Out breath. As you draw the elbows back, press the hips forward and squeeze your butt. Good. Inhale back. And exhale. When you press your hips forward, squeeze your entire legs and feel the activation. Ten more. Speed it up a little. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands to the hips. Shift your weight into the left leg. Right knee lifts. Right foot drops down, squat. Shift your weight into the right leg, and left knee lifts. Left leg drops, and squat. And we'll alternate in and out. In and out. A little faster. In, out. In, out. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold your squat, relax your shoulders, and dip. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Forward fold, bow. Relax your shoulders and your neck. And slowly step back to a plank pose. As you arrive, dial the heels to the right and open up into a side plank. Release back down, inhale. Exhale, dial heels to the other side into a side plank. And we're going to do that 5 times. Back to center. Dial and open in. Back to center. Dial and open. Inhale as you come back. Exhale as you dial and open. Inhale as you come back. Exhale as you dial and open. One last time on each side. Good job. Come back to the center. Lower your knees. Keep your chest drawn forward and lower your elbows under your shoulders and hold. Tuck the tailbone under, draw the chest forward. This one is a killer. Even though the knees are on the ground, it's really working on those deep core muscles. Activate those elbows into the earth, draw the elbows back. Pull that navel in and up. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the hips down, open the heart, and this time find locust pose. Draw the shoulder blades towards one another, lift your legs. Elongate your neck, keep your gaze down. 2 more breaths. Good job. Come back through the center to your downward facing dog. As you arrive, feel the elongation of the spine. Enjoy the length of the spine as you activate your hands into the earth, pressing forward and your hips pressing back. Right leg rises to the sky with the in-breath. The knee dials open this time. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you flip your dog. As you draw the hips up, you're stacking that left shoulder on top of your left wrist before pressing the hips more up and opening your heart. As you return back to the center, re-elongate the right leg back. Inhale, and on the exhale, step it forward for crescent lunge. As you rise up, say if your feet are kind of in one line, and as much as possible, find the hip distance apart. So for me, I had to walk my left foot to the left. Tuck your tailbone under. And open up through the heart once again. And now make that same motion of drawing the heart open towards the sky. Squeeze those shoulder blades towards one another. We've got the fire element here, feeling the heat from the sunshine. Good job. Take your hands towards your heart space and hinge forward. Taking both wrists up and over the right thigh. Elongate through the spine. Then open up through your heart to the side. Taking that twist from the mid-back. Elongating the right arm up. Come back through the center. Reach those arms overhead. Bend the back knee. Circle the arms through and take a dip with a biceps curl. Activate the right heel into the ground as you rise. In breath. Out breath, twist again. Open with an in breath. Out breath, come back. Inhale, rise. Exhale, circle and dip. One last time, in and out. In and out. In and out. Come back. Dial back heel down for warrior two. And start to stabilize your warrior two. Feel the length. Feel the expansiveness. And feel how you're taking all this space and it feels wonderful. Now reverse your warrior, deep in breath. On the out breath, return back to center in a side angle lunge. Again, come back to center, reverse your warrior. Come back to center, side angle lunge. Find your warrior two and hold. Make fists circle your wrists. Take your right hand to your right thigh. Shift your weight forward into it. Tippy toe of the left foot on the ground. You're either going to stay here and just work on balance up and down, or you're going to try to come into your Ardha Chandrasana half moon balance. Left hip stacks on top of the right. And then if it feels okay and comfortable, the leg elongates. My gaze is on something super stable on the ground. My glutes are engaged. My right leg is shaking a lot, but that's only strengthening my ankle and feet. I'm going to slowly land back in a warrior two. Woo. And then I'm slowly going to turn to find feet hip distance again for a runner, for a crescent. And from here, allow the back knee to drop to the ground. And shift the hip back so that the left hip is on top of that left knee. And extend through the front leg to come into a half split. Now some of us might enjoy the dynamic stretching a little more so that you're bending and extending before settling into a deep stretch. Keep your left fingertips on the ground, tented. Lift your heart, bring your right hand to your right hip and draw the hip back. Keep active in the right heel, micro bending through the right knee as you twist toward your elongated leg. Deep in breath and out breath. Good job. Come back to the center. Find a runner lunge and toe heel your right foot towards the right for a lizard pose. Maybe the back knee stays on the ground, maybe it lifts. If you like to come all the way down onto your forearms, take care you're not collapsing into your joints. And the right knee could fall to the right as you come to the outer edge of the right foot. Take your time to rise out of the lizard and toe heel the right foot back into a low crescent. Reach the arms overhead. Walk the right foot back with the in-breath. On the out-breath, release the right forearm to the inner thigh and twist to the opposite direction. So that place where you're open to the side. Reground your right hand onto your right thigh. Lift yourself up back to your side angle. Take a deep in-breath and let it go. Back to center, inhale. And on the exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Back to your plank pose, hold. Either lower down to chaturanga or all the way to the ground. Finding baby cobra or up dog to your downward dog. Deep inhale as the left leg rises up. Knee opens, hip opens. Maybe a flip dog. I have no idea how I'm going to remember my sequence. On the other side, we'll see. I do this to myself all the time. Come back to the center. Find your way into that elongated left leg. And then step forward to come into your crescent. Yeah, I remember now. Bend the back knee. Tuck the pelvis under. And that nice openness once again. Squeezing shoulder blades. Open your heart. Palms come towards one another as you take your twist and hinge. Open your heart again. In. Out, back to center. And rise. Circle and dip. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Rise up. Dip down. One last time. Coming to warrior two, everyone. Dial back, heel down, open it up. Make fists together, circle them. Open your heart, expand your arms, and reverse your warrior. Back to your side angle. And again, 2 more times, alternating between the two. Last time. good now. We're going to try to come into that Ardha Chandrasana half moon. Right hand to the right hip, left hand to the leg, and either just playing with balance up and down, or coming eventually into that balancing position of Ardha Chandrasana. Notice how I'm taking it really slow while engaging the left glute. Especially if you don't have a block to keep your torso lifted, you really want to try to use that core center rather than collapsing to the ground. Whew, if I look away, I'll fall. So keep your gaze down on something stable. Then land, warrior two. Readjust yourself into a crescent lunge. And allow the back knee to drop all the way down, shifting your hips back so that your hip is aligned on top of your knee, and then extending the left heel forward to take it into the half split. Thank you, Organic Flow, for bringing through this creative sequence. Right in the moment. And as you let your fingertips kind of ground down and lift your heart, twist towards the left. Keep your hips nicely aligned like we're doing a revolved triangle, but with one knee on the ground. Keep active in that left heel and the right knee. Good job. Release back to a runner. Toe heel the left foot for lizard. And take it to your degree. Come on, back out of the pose. Toe heel the left foot towards the center. Walk it back so that you're stacked with the joints. And then twist towards the side, the open side. Transition slowly upwards. Dial the back heel down and make it to your side angle. Amy, would you fix the thingy? Not that anyone's looking, but just in case. Awesome. Come back through to the center with the in-breath. And with the out-breath, cartwheel the hands down. Go to your downward facing dog. From downward dog, reach the right leg up towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, right knee towards the right wrist. Right foot towards the side for pigeon. If this prone pigeon is not available for your body, you might allow the left knee to go out to the side a bit. and kind of stay upright. Or you might take it onto your back for a reclined pigeon. Not rushing into it, but kind of taking it slow and enjoying the air element now. Feeling the breeze. And it's allowing us to also smell the grass a little bit more. And find this interaction with life itself. The delight can turn into ecstasy. Five more breaths. Take your time to release out of the stretch. Allow the back foot to circle through and place itself in front of the right heel. Take a twist to the left. Back to the center. We'll make it back to your pigeon on the other side, either coming straight into it, or if you like to do the exact same thing on both sides, you can go to downward dog first. Find space. Make space around your heart, around your belly, around the hips. And let yourself surrender, release. Notice if you're holding on to your shoulders and let them go. Notice if you're holding on to your chest. Let it go. And drop into the feel of weight again. Lift yourself up slowly. Wrap your right leg around. Place the foot to the front of the shin. And twist to the other side. Return back to the center and extend your legs, making your way onto your backs. And as you arrive onto your back, pull your knees towards your chest for a little squeeze. Elongate the spine. And release the feet under your knees. Activate your forearms alongside the body for one bridge pose. Find that heart opening. Release yourself back down, one vertebra at a time. And settle for your Shavasana. Let your arms and legs flop open and let yourself feel supported by this ground that hasn't budged. A warm embrace. An embrace by the earth. An embrace by the space. The sounds of the crickets. And the sound of silence. Keep your attention in your body, on the ground. Let it bathe in the earth element. Give more of your weight to the earth. A little more. Trust. Take a deep cleansing breath. And take your time to make some small movements throughout your body before rolling over onto your side. Come on up to your meditative seat. Bring your hands and rub them at your heart space. And place them on top of your heart, maybe one over the belly. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niradambaya Tejase Together, closing with the sound of Om, a cleansing breath. Inhale. Thank you for allowing me to teach you today. The Great Spirit within me bows to the Great Spirit within you. Namaste.